Okay, in this video, I'm gonna take you guys through some of my go-to exercises I do and training tips I use on my pull days and on my back days that have helped me build a wider, thicker back. These exercises in particular are going to bring up your V-taper and will 100% improve the aesthetics of your physique. Alright, so let me get on with it. Make sure you warm up properly before every training session. This is especially important when training your back. So do some small movements that mimic the exercises that you'll come on to do. So for example, pre-activate your lats with some pullovers, weight-assisted pull-ups, banded pull-ups, light cable rows. Tell your mind and your body that you're about to train back. Ever since I started actually putting effort into my warm-ups and priming the muscle before actually training, when I come onto my training, I can feel the muscle, in this case my back, engage and activate way better. The pumps are way better and the results are better. So priming your back before your training is very important and is very effective for back growth. Okay, now that you're primed, it's time to get into the first movement. Lat pull down. Whether your gym has a fancy pull down machine like the hammer pull down, unilateral lat pull downs using the cable stack is something I always do. But today we're just going to be sticking to the classic lat pull down with a classic pronated grip. If you watch my videos, you know I'm always on about getting a stretch in your movements and how that is really important for muscle growth. And it is. But when it comes to your lat pull downs, although getting a stretch has its benefits, it also may come at a cost of further lat growth. By letting your shoulders come all the way up on your lat pull downs, you're essentially taking the tension off your lower lats. So next time you do your pull downs, instead of really reaching for that stretch, keep the tension on your lats at all times. So keep your shoulders back and locked in position. So make sure to squeeze your lats at the top of the rep. This will create a ton of tension on your lower lats, another very important muscle for aesthetics. So now I'll do like a 50-50 split. So half the time I'll do my pull downs like this, and the other half I'll make sure to get a stretch in. 2 to 3 sets here, 10 to 15 reps, a great way to start your back day or your pull day. Next, deadlifts. Like I was saying earlier, you must prime the muscles which you are training. And in this case, because you are deadlifting, you must warm up your lower back. So do some bodyweight back extensions beforehand to prime your lower back, especially for people who suffer with lower back pain like me. These are an absolute essential, mandatory, obligatory thing to do. The best cure to lower back pain is strengthening your spinal erections. Plus, it's a little extra hypertrophy for your spinal erectors. So if you want that Christmas tree on your lower back, these are another great exercise to throw in there. Only recently did I transition from power building to pure bodybuilding. And for like 2 years, I would deadlift at least once a week. You know, when I started out training, I did my squat, bench, deadlift. I was into my powerlifting. But as I started to switch my focus into bodybuilding, I stopped doing deadlifts because I just thought it was cringe to do if you're trying to build muscle. But after almost a year of no deadlifts, I realized something. Deadlifts aren't cringe, bro. They're actually optimal. For as long as I can remember, I've always had a muscle imbalance. My lat, trap, bicep, tricep, shoulders are all bigger on my left side than on my right. My mind muscle connection on my left side is much better than on my right. I can't even flex my right trap till this day. I've been doing single arm movements. I've been doing mind muscle connection training. I've been doing shrugs. I've been doing single arm lat pull downs. I've seen a bit of progress, but still it's a noticeable muscle imbalance between the left and right side of my upper body. And that's when I realized it's because of deadlifts. That's my hypothesis right now, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. You see, when I used to deadlift, I used to pull the weight with what is called a mixed grip. So essentially you hook with your dominant hand and you pronate with your weaker hand. This is done to generate more power and essentially just lift heavier. But this is actually a really, really bad thing to do and almost always leads to a muscle imbalance. So first of all, if you deadlift, stop doing mixed grip and do pronated grip. So I began to throw deadlifts back into my training like 6 months ago. Deadlifts are one of, if not the best exercise for growing your traps and for growing your spinal erectors. So that Christmas tree on your lower back, both of which are very aesthetic muscle groups. But you have to deadlift like a bodybuilder, not like a power lifter. This means that you use a weight that you fail minimum at 6 reps. This means that you don't smash the weight down at the top. As a bodybuilder, you are looking for a little more hypertrophy, as much hypertrophy as you can get. That's why I always talk about intensity techniques, pushing past failure, all this stuff. One of the ways in which you can generate more hypertrophy is by controlling your eccentric, by increasing time under tension. Instead of smashing the weight down on your deadlifts, you lower the bar slowly. This creates a ton of tension on your spinal erectors and your traps, meaning they will grow more. So don't miss out on that extra growth. Always control the negatives, always slow down when lowering the weight. I would say 2 working sets is plenty for deadlifts, okay? So 1 top set of 6 to 9 reps, 1 backup set of 10 to 12 reps, and make sure you do conventional because sumo is cheating, as C-Bum would say. But having said that, deadlifts are absolute shite for your lats. You'll get big traps, you'll get that Christmas tree, but very little lat development doing deadlifts, at least for me. A similar exercise you can opt in for, one which is way more effective for lat growth, are rack pulls. So instead of pulling the the weight up from the ground, you pull the weight up from knee height. Here you get way more lat engagement. The pumps I get in my lats from doing rack pulls is insane. And what does this mean? It means that it's working your lats. So keep your lats flexed at all times, and as you come up, push your elbows back and squeeze your lats. Again, 2 working sets, 1 top set, 1 back off set. Same rep range as the deadlifts, so 6 to 9 and 10 to 12. Okay, now you need to give your lower back a break. And a go-to movement of mine for back growth is a chest supported row. And today I'm gonna show you the go-to rowing movement, which is the chest supported dumbbell row. This is the best exercise in my opinion for targeting your upper back, but they're also great for your lats, because basically you can alter the line of pull to bias either your lats or your upper back. So if you tuck your elbows in and you drive your elbows into your hips, this is going to bias your lats. This is going to work your lats more. But if you flare your elbows out and you drive your elbows into your armpits, this is almost entirely your upper back trapezius working. But you can try out both. Focus on pulling the weight up with your elbows and not your arms. This isn't a curl. So pull your elbows as far back as you can and squeeze the contraction at the top of the rep and slowly lower the weight and really exaggerate the stretch on your chest supported dumbbell rows. Pause on the stretch and pause on the contraction for 1 second. So typically here I do 2 sets of 10 to 15 reps, and then I do a rest pause after I fail on my last set, or a stretch pause as well. Next, the upper back biased pull down with a neutral grip attachment. So here you're contracting your upper back, not your lats. So you're driving your elbows into your armpits, not your hips. Squeeze your upper back at the top of the rep, then slowly control the weight on the way up. Roll your shoulders forward to feel the stretch in your upper back. 6 to 9 reps on the top set, 10 to 12 on the back off set. This is a really good exercise which has allowed me to add thickness to my back and is a great upper back movement for you to try out. Finally, to blow your back out, finish with some lat pullovers. Of course, you can use a rope, you can use a straight bar handle. Something I like to do is use 2 single hand grips and press them together and lock that position in, and basically just keep tension on the upper lats. So working the top half of the range of motion rather than the full range of motion. 3 sets till failure, and in between each set, I want you to flex your lats for 10 seconds. And after you fail on your last set, hang off a pull-up bar for 20 seconds to really feel the stretch in your lats. Also, lastly, you wanna know what maximizes back growth? You wanna know the #1 secret to growing a wider, bigger back? Fix your posture, bro. Bring those shoulders back. It's gonna improve your mind-muscle connection with your back if you have good posture, and therefore it's gonna help you grow more. Always remind yourself when you're walking, standing, sitting, roll your shoulders back, drop them, and lock that position in. Eventually it will be easy and it will become your natural body position to have good posture. You just have to practice at it. And that's a wrap, okay? That's just an example of what you can do on your back days, some exercises you can carry out. There are obviously loads more exercises that I do and loads more great exercises out there, but these ones in particular have been effective for me. And this workout will basically hit every part of your back in just like 4 or 5 exercises. So definitely give it a try, or definitely include at least 1 or 2 exercises in your next back day, in your next pull day. So thank you for watching. Hope these tips were helpful. Gonna be coming out with a video very soon, but until then, peace.